Breaking News Center, I'm Sean Brinda. A 47-year-old is dead after a deadly shooting took place on Milwaukee's north side Saturday night. Milwaukee police report the shooting took place at 7:40 p.m. near the corners of Fond du Lac Avenue and North 23rd Street. The victim sustained a fatal gunshot wound and was pronounced dead at the scene when police arrived. The investigation is ongoing and Milwaukee police continue to search for suspects. And denied a ruling against Elon Musk. Wisconsin State Attorney Josh Kaul's attempts to block Elon Musk from distributing $2 million to voters who signed a petition to get rid of, quote, activist judges has been stopped by the state appellate court. This call comes in as a circuit court judge in Columbia County rejected to hearing Kaul's case against Musk. Kaul may ask the Wisconsin Supreme Court to review the case, but a spokesperson for the state attorney did not say if Kaul has filed such actions as of Saturday. The panel of appellate judges wrote Kaul had not filed or supported his request properly, which forced them to deny the request. Musk is still expected to visit Green Bay sometime later today. Fire crews in South Carolina are hoping for improving weather conditions today as they continue to battle the Table Rock Fire, and one of the most intense in the country. ABC's Faith Aubrey is in Pickens, South Carolina, with the latest.
More resources are on the way from other states. The fire is now burning more than 11,000 acres. But this morning, for the first time, it is 9% contained. We know that about 1,400 homes and businesses had to be evacuated due to the flames. Some of those people are being told they can start coming home if they want to.
The countdown to Tariff Day is on, and economists are watching closely. President Trump says the tariffs on the auto industry is part of a plan to bring long-term jobs back to the U.S., but opponents call this trade war that will drive up inflation and raise costs for all Americans. William Reinisch has asserted that. The senior advisor at the Center for Strategic International Studies told ABC News this is a short-sighted means on the part of the Trump administration.
Because most of the tariffs, despite what Trump says, are not paid by the foreigners. They're paid by consumers because they get passed on by the manufacturers or the importers.
Moving to Milwaukee and staying, Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce Communications Director Ryan Amundsen tells WTMJ people are coming from around the world.
You're seeing a lot from war-torn areas of the world. You're seeing a lot from the Ukraine. Here in Milwaukee specifically, we're seeing a lot come in from Myanmar, Burmese immigrants, refugees from Myanmar. So yeah, we would like to make the path easier for those folks to get work, to get jobs, and to contribute to our economy.
Amundsen says within the past year alone, 28,000 immigrants have moved to Wisconsin. A serious blood clot called deep vein thrombosis has pulled Bucs star Damian Lillard off the court. It is too early to know if he'll return for the season. Milwaukee Bucks president Peter Feigin tells WTMJ a swift diagnosis means treatment is going well.
He's stable, being treated. We do think there's an opportunity for him to come back, and he is, in a better place than he was 4 days ago or 3 days ago when this started.
DVT is relatively rare in professional athletes. Feigin says they'll be on his side of caution when it comes to Dame's return. Construction starts in Green Bay for the NFL Draft.
That means street closures started Saturday, especially along South Oneida Street between Lombardi Avenue and Entrance 1 on the southeast side of Lambeau Field. Armed Forces Drive will also be closed to traffic. The Lambeau Field atrium, including the Packers Pro Shop, Packers Hall of Fame, and stadium tours will be open during regular business hours. The draft runs April 24th to 26th. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, weather, and next Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News time is 8:04.
Sponsored by AccuNet Mortgage.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. sale, our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could, in fact, still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your AccuNet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
For Jenna, helping others find joy is so rewarding. It's why we love to do what we do.
I enjoy simplifying the process for the customer, taking the time to listen, and finding the right solution.
Randy understands that everyone's situation is different, so we don't just slap together cookie-cutter solutions.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
Jake arrives at your free in-home consultation with pre-prepared materials to fully envision your dream Pella build.
We're with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Whether you're working with Ryan or another Pella consultant, we don't go away after the sale. We're ready with anything you may need before, during, and after installation. And right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for up to 72 months. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers finished their first series of the season today in their matchup with the New York Yankees down the Bronx. Coverage for the game takes place here on WTMJ starting at noon. And the Milwaukee Bucks seek a win against the Atlanta Hawks later tonight at home in Pfizer Forum. Tip-off for the game is at 6 p.m. Our coverage for the game starts with Bucks shoot-around at 5 p.m. right here on WTMJ. And from the Elite Eight to the Final Four, both Florida University and Duke University took one step closer to the men's college basketball tournament championship. Florida beat Texas Tech 84-79, and Duke dominated Alabama with a decisive win, being the Crimson Tide 85-65. This college basketball tournament update is brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Take a look at your roads with your WTMJ Johnson Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. You don't have many incidents out on the road at this time, so it should be a smooth drive this morning, Milwaukee.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunday, we'll have rain and storms likely throughout the day with a high of 56 degrees. Tonight, we'll get a chance for some showers and a wintry mix too. The low of 31 degrees. Monday, we'll get some early morning snow showers. It'll be breezy and cold with a high of 42. Tuesday is going to be mainly cloudy with an evening mix of snow and rain with a high of 40 degrees. Wednesday, rain and storms are possible and it'll be breezy with a high of 64 degrees. And Thursday is going to be partly cloudy, breezy with a high of 53 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's 39 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 36 degrees. In Waukesha, it's 39 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's 37 degrees. I'm Sean Brinda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:08.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News.
Welcome into the show today. I am your host, Mike Spalding, filling in for the vacationing Libby Collins. Do not worry, Libby will be back in the big chair next week. We have a major show on tap for you today. Big pressing week for a lot of things. We'll start off with the election day on Tuesday, but we also have Brewers home opener. That's right around the corner. They're taking on the Kansas City Royals at American Family Field tomorrow. WTMJ's Sean Brindu, who you just heard, he'll be joining me live in studio later today, and we'll talk a bit about Milwaukee Public Schools, their lead issue. There's this ongoing lead saga, dare I say it, where they stand right now and what is coming up next. The district and health department provided a update on Friday afternoon, so we'll get the latest on that. It's also tariff week, so we'll be checking in with WTMJ's Julia Fellow. She produced a great piece on how the president's proposed tariff plan, not only on things like aluminum and steel, are going to be impacting consumers, but also things like vehicles, things like reciprocal tariffs with Canada. Everything you need to know about tariffs, we got that today. Milwaukee Business Journal editor-in-chief Timothy Gibbons will be joining us live or not live, he joined us to talk about the major stories going on or in and around the state of Wisconsin, including what's going on with Microsoft and their major facility plan that's going on in Racine County. Producer Nate, dare I say, the land that was at one point going to be Foxconn is now, like I say, haunted or jinxed or whatever it is. It just seems like we had a great plan once with Foxconn, didn't work out. Had another great plan with Microsoft, not exactly going according to plan there either, at least right now. So Timothy Gibbons of the Business Journal will be joining us to talk about what's going on there. We'll also get the Week in Review, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Before we get to any of that, though, I want to touch on something happening this evening. That would be Elon Musk heading into Green Bay to host a rally to, push for Brad Schimmel for state Supreme Court. That's going to be his main goal. But what's gotten a lot of attention so far is the money. Elon Musk wants to continue giving away his money for people who voted early. That is now locked up in the court. So kind of here's where we're at right now. Elon Musk is very involved in the Wisconsin State Supreme Court race between Brad Schimmel and Susan Crawford. Of course, a Schimmel win would be a big W for people who consider themselves conservatives. A Susan Crawford win would keep the ideological bend of our state Supreme Court where it's at right now with a perceived liberal leaning. And I say the word perceived because, believe it or not, despite all the political ads that we've been seeing, it is a nonpartisan race. So even with national people getting involved a la Elon Musk, both Crawford and Schimmel are running for a nonpartisan seat. Their ultimate goal on the state Supreme Court is to uphold the law as it is written, which makes it interesting when you have somebody who is basically a pseudo advisor to President Trump and Elon Musk coming to town to rally in favor of a candidate. Now, it's not to say that Susan Crawford isn't doing something very similar, bringing out big names to campaign in your favor. It's just kind of a weird setup that we have in the state of Wisconsin. For a bit more on that, here's ABC News political director Avery Harper.
This race could change the ideological bent of the court. Right now, it's liberal. If the conservative candidate, Brad Schimmel, if he wins, that could impact how the court addresses some issues that are going to likely come before the court. Things like reproductive rights, things like union rights, and more importantly, on a national stage, redistricting. And that indirectly could impact how the balance of power in Congress continues.
So there's a lot at stake here, right? And a lot of money involved. A story in the Journal Sentinel earlier this week revealing that more than 100,000 people have donated to either the Crawford or Schimmel campaign. Each campaign also set to spend about north of $49 million each $49 million with the hopes of winning, making this by far the most expensive state Supreme Court race in history. In fact, 5 years ago, when Justice Brian Hagedorn took on Greta Neubauer, they spent a combined $3.7 million, at which time was a record on its own. This hotly contested race, again, bringing Elon Musk to town to Green Bay, the Tesla and SpaceX co-founder and pseudo-advisor to the president, set to hold a rally today in Green Bay. CBS's Steve Kathan.
Elon Musk says he plans to hold a rally in Wisconsin Sunday to personally hand over $2 million to a pair of voters who have already cast their ballots in the state's Supreme Court race. There is a state law that prohibits giving anything of value in exchange for voting. His planned visit is just 2 days before the election pitting President Trump's preferred candidate against a Democratic challenger. There's a lot at stake. The winner will determine the ideological control of the court. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
So where do we stand on that money? Attorney General Josh Kaul suing to stop those payments. A judge said there's no leg to stand on for the Kaul administration. So maybe he gives away $1 million via giant check tonight. Maybe he does not. We don't exactly know where Musk will be, though we do know he'll be in Green Bay somewhere at about 6:30 tonight. He says attendance at his speech or his address or whatever is going to be is limited to people who have already cast a ballot. Unsure how they're going to verify that, but they really want people who have voted early to appear there. We got plenty more to come here on Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News. Look at your weather forecast and a sports update, unfortunately. It's coming up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 8:14.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I'm the football guy, definitely not the outdoor home projects guy. So when it comes to things like deck building, Excel Custom Decks is the true go-to expert. Family owned and operated, Excel Custom Decks uses the finest materials and products and combines that with superior craftsmanship. If you want your outdoor area to shine this summer, contact Excel Custom Decks now. Whatever you dream up for that perfect deck, pergola, or outdoor kitchen, Rob and his family can build it. Excel Custom Decks, decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com today.
We didn't write the headline, the Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Economic uncertainty and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. Standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil. But retirement planning isn't a set it and forget it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized plans that adapt as needed. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
History made in the Bronx. It was the wrong kind of history, but history nonetheless.
The first pitch to Paul Goldschmidt is a high fly ball, deep left center, back on it to the track, and it is gone. Here's a high fly ball, right center field. Mitchell barely moving. That is way up and gone into right center. A high fly, deep left. Churio never moved. It goes into the second deck. And the Yankees have gone back to back to back on 3 pitches.
The Bronx Bombers living up to every part of their name Saturday afternoon in New York. Some would say it was over before the game ever began. The Yankees eventually would go on to hit 4 home runs in the first inning off of Brewers starter Nestor Cortez on their way to a 20-9 victory over your Milwaukee Brewers. Manager Pat Murphy.
These games happen. You know, we have a bunch of pitching injuries. 8 of our top 13 aren't with us.
So what went wrong? Murph was asked, were the Yankees batters able to pick up some sort of tell? Cortez did spend seasons on the Yankees roster.
The only tell they had is the ball wasn't cutting, and he didn't throw the ball where he wanted to, on the side of the plate he wanted to. And when you throw those like that and your cutter's backing up, you're not through the baseball, you've got a team like that. Yankees are a powerhouse. They go to the World Series last year? I think they did. And they did some good things.
They did some good things. Saturday, mostly bad, not all bad, though. The Brewers' offense did put some runs on the board. Bryce Terang hitting his first home run of the season. Jackson Churio got his first 2 hits of the year. The 2 teams are back at it today, wrapping up their 3-game series in New York. Coverage on WTMJ gets started at noon. In the NBA, the Bucks try and rebound with a win after Friday night's 116-107 loss to the New York Knicks. Giannis and the crew host the Atlanta Hawks at Fiserv Forum tonight. Coverage of Bucks and Hawks gets underway at 5:30 right here on WTMJ. In college hoops, the one half at least to the Final Four is set. The Florida Gators, champions of the Western region. Florida mounting a ferocious comeback in the final few minutes. Their game last night, they beat Texas Tech 84-79. Stop me if you've heard this one before. The Duke Blue Devils also headed back to their 18th Final Four. They beat Alabama 85-65. A pair of games this afternoon will determine the final 2 teams in the Final Four. Number 1 Houston takes on Tennessee at 1:20, while number 1 seed Auburn takes on number 2 seed Michigan State. That game is at 4 o'clock. Coming up next, we hear from the Milwaukee Business Journal editor-in-chief, Timothy Gibbons. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 819.
Join your boy Tory Lowe and the Truth Team for our community cleanup on Saturday, April 12th. Go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up to volunteer at one of our 3 cleanup locations. Everyone who joins gets a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Register today by visiting truthcommunitycleanup.com. Bring the whole family to help clean our city. The Tory Lowe Cleanup is presented by 1MKE and sponsored by Cousin Subs, Ray's Coca-Cola, Landmark Credit Union, and Waste Management.
You're going to get a free furnace from Quality. No gimmick. You'll get a free furnace. This is Anthony Zanevsky. All you have to do is purchase a heat pump from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace. And this heat pump is not only going to give you 2 sources of heat and a backup, but also the heat pump will act as an AC system to cool your home as well. It's extremely efficient. I have a heat pump in my own home, and this I know. Your heat pump will cut your energy bills substantially. You'll be getting a top-of-the-line heat pump system and a free furnace. And you'll save thousands plus qualifying government incentives. So now, through March 31st, you'll get a heck of a deal from Quality. This is the only time of the year we can do this. So call Quality, and let's get you taken care of. Get your free furnace and upgrade your home's HVAC system to absolute max efficiency. Buy a heat pump from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace through March 31st.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, rainy and some storms actually just kind of hit southeast Wisconsin. Very windy and rainy down here downtown. That precipitation will continue throughout most of the day. A high, though, 56 degrees. Overnight tonight, a chance of rain showers and a wintry mix, a low of 31. Tomorrow, opening day at American Family Field. Morning snow showers are expected. Breezy, cold throughout the afternoon. Dry, however, which is good news, a high 42. Tuesday, mainly cloudy skies. An evening rain-snow mix possible, a high of 40. Wednesday, rainy, again, breezy, a high 64. Thursday, partly cloudy skies and breezy, a high of 53 degrees. Right now in downtown Milwaukee, it's 40 degrees at 8:21. Welcome back to Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News. I'm Mike Spalding, sitting in for Libby Collins this morning. Some big news coming out of Racine County this week regarding that massive Microsoft data center construction project, and not all of it is positive. The company announcing plans to push the pause button on some work at a 900-acre portion of that campus. This does mark the second time that Microsoft has decided to do this, the first of which was back in January. Microsoft then restarted, back to slowing things down once again. WTMJ News Director Tiff Pua sat down with Milwaukee Business Journal Editor-in-Chief Timothy Gibbons to take a deeper dive on the project, find out where it stands right now, what is done, what isn't done, what's not going to be done, and whether or not we should be concerned about the future of what's an ambitious project.
Really big news coming out of Microsoft for our area.
Yeah, big news and not terribly great news, although not as bad as it might look at first blush. So we're talking about Microsoft's big data center project. So as listeners are probably aware, Microsoft has this massive project underway in Mount Pleasant. The news that came out this week is that it has halted work on 2 of the 3 data centers that it was planning on building there. This comes after late last year we reported that Microsoft had paused construction on 2 sites at the $3 billion project. So that pause basically is back on. When I say it's not horrible news, the tech company is still on track with the first of these centers, the one that is actually under construction, and the city officials tell us that actually will create enough of a tax base increase to hit the goals that had been set.
Now, do we know, Timothy, kind of the timeline for the completion of this first portion, which we know is going to go forward?
Yeah, so that one is fully on track and is supposed to be open, I want to say it's 2026, and the other ones kind of were coming, out in the years after that. The agreement that they have with the village there is that the second building is supposed to start by 2030 and a third building by 2027. So, they have plenty of time to work on it. Their deadline for getting this first one off the ground is January 2028. So, again, they have time.
So what are we looking at in terms of impact for jobs in the area?
So that's kind of the hit that will be a little painful. The goal had been to bring 2,300 construction jobs to the area. As listeners might be aware, the difference between a big project like this and some of the other projects that we write about, your factories or such like, data centers themselves don't have a huge workforce. It's mainly computers sitting there just minding their own business. They have, skilled workers at the data center, but not a huge amount of them. The economic promise of these projects, it requires a specific construction skill set. They're long-term projects. They're great construction jobs. So we don't have figures on exactly what it